Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified Doctor of Naturopathy, Dr. Stephen Cabral, shares with you exactly how you can reverse aging, take back your health, and live a life full of energy and passion, with new 20-minute episodes every single day to keep you healthy and engaged. Now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
All right, everybody, we are back with a brand new Mindset and Motivation Monday here in the Cabral Concept. I love this topic that we're going to be going over today, and that is the idea of finite versus infinite games. So I talked about this way back on episode 1890 of the Cabral Concept, and this is now episode 2908. So if you want to learn more about the book, if you really want to go in depth on this topic, I'll link it up for you today at stephencabral.com/2908. But what the book begins to explain, and what I want to share with you here today, is one of the main factors in happiness. And the reason is that many of us set specific goals for ourselves, which are amazing, right? I also believe in New Year's resolutions. I believe in setting goals. I talk about the 12-week year. I talk about all these things. And there's a big difference, though, between setting finite, short-term goals and then what you're looking to do and explore in your life. So let me just give you an example of that. There are many people who want to reach a certain pinnacle in their career, or they may want to reach a certain dollar amount, let's say in their finances. And let's say they want to reach $100,000 a year in salary. We'll just say that. And they work hard towards it. Maybe takes 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it might take in order to get to that range that they're looking to achieve. And then once they achieve it, they realize two things. One is that it's not as significant as they thought. So there's a little bit of a letdown. And number two, they begin to realize, well, if they hit $100,000 in salary, maybe they could reach $150,000. So they just set another goal, and they begin to move that goalpost further down the field in life. So what happens now is that, okay, they achieved the finances they were looking for, wasn't as great as that they thought it would be, wasn't this life-changing event. But number two is they just now set another goal saying $100,000 isn't enough, right? So that's not leading to happiness in either way. Now, another example would be, let's say, with body transformation. So someone set a goal for themselves, and let's say it's to lose 25 pounds. And they go from, let's say, 190 down to, 165. So they reach 165 pounds. It took them 6 months to get there. They've achieved it. And they say, yeah, I guess I like how my clothes fit a little bit better, but my life doesn't feel exceptionally better maybe than it did when I was 25 pounds heavier. Now, I'm healthier, all of those things, but now I'm looking to achieve X, right? I'm looking to say, I thought if I lost all the weight, I would now have a lot more energy, but it turns out I don't. And so now I need to figure out why I don't necessarily have more energy. And so what we're looking at, those are all finite games or finite goals. And they're all great. And I'm not saying, I don't want to discount it all. You won't be happier, right, with achieving a goal. I do believe, most people that I've seen lose weight for their health, not necessarily for vanity metrics, they feel much better. There's no doubt about that. And people who might go from earning $50,000 a year to $100,000 a year, they actually, they probably will be a little bit happier because money-wise, they have a little bit more freedom of choice. They might be able to take a vacation that they want now. They might be able to spend a little bit more on a home, whatever it is that they're looking to achieve. But in the end of the day, usually what we make it out to be isn't as remarkable as we thought it was in our head. That's okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually part of being human. But number two is that we always then just set the next goal. And so if we know that we're just going to set the next goal after we achieve the goal that we just set for ourselves, I've realized this myself, is we need to start looking at life and our lifetime as more of an infinite game. And this is where happiness really starts to abound. So let me go back to these examples. If you know that in your career, that it's inevitable you'll be able to achieve a certain salary, and you most likely should be able to increase that maybe 3 or 4% or maybe 10%, whatever it is each and every year, why then fixate on one specific number? Why not then allow yourself to focus on the work? the enjoyment you get from whatever it is that you do, the service that you provide, right? The help that you may be giving others, or the art that you're creating in this world. Why not focus more on that then instead of that number, which is most likely going to rise with every year of more experience and every year of more progress? The same with weight. There's nothing wrong with setting that SMART goal, right? The specific, the measurable, the attainable, the realistic, all the things down the line, the timely, right? So that's great. But what if the goal was, I want to improve my health over a lifetime? That's really what I've gotten for myself. So I don't necessarily have specific health goals now, but it's saying, oh, okay, well, I'm where I need to be in terms of my lab work and all these numbers. I'm at my goal weight. I don't need to necessarily get stronger than I am right now. So it's like, well, what's the goal? Well, the goal is to continually be a student in the game of life for health. So now I'm exploring, without having to rush through it, all the things that I enjoy and allowing myself to develop a healthy schedule for, this is when I'm going to do sauna. This is when I'm going to do red light. Oh, and I'm supposed to be doing all these other things as well. Okay, yeah, well, in good time. I'll be able to get there. So if you're saying to yourself, I don't yet do sauna, that's okay. Have you achieved yet the 10,000 steps a day? Have you started with the 12 to 14 hours of intermittent fasting overnight? Have you done a 7-day functional medicine detox, right? So before we start to maybe layer up these big things, we say, yeah, we're going to achieve all of those things. That's part of being a healthy human. And it doesn't stop, meaning like once you achieve health, you can't stop doing the things that got you there. I mean, people sometimes ask, and not so much anymore, but again, when I was doing this 15, 20 years ago, people say, okay, great. So once I follow this nutrition plan and I get to my goal weight, body transformation, health, whatever it is, can I then go back to the way I was eating before? And it's an honest question. And the answer is no. But also the answer is, I don't think you'll want to, because you'll be a new version of yourself. You'll be, I honestly believe this, you'll be happier because you have better production of neurotransmitters. You're going to have more energy because you have way less inflammation. And you're going to improve your overall confidence and outlook on life. You're going to feel better. So why would you ever want to get rid of any of those things? Because people do kind of slide back to their old diet and then they kind of feel those symptoms start to come back. So when you realize that you've not only up-leveled your diet, your career, your relationship, whatever it is, and you say, oh yeah, I have put in the work. You look at that as saying, if I did that, what else is possible? If I feel this good from just adding in a couple nutrition tweaks, a little bit of nutritional supplements, a little bit of walking, wow, what would I feel like if I began to do weight training 2 to 3 days a week? And then what I feel like if I maybe added in a few days of sauna? And then I started to get into a little jogging or cycling or something for cardiovascular. What would it feel like then, right? And then what if I was able to dial in my sleep and get 8 hours of sleep a night with 2 hours of REM and 90 minutes of deep sleep? What would I feel like then? So when you start to look at it like that, you have your goals and you want to achieve milestones and you absolutely do want to track the goal achievement. What you want to realize is that you already know ahead of time that this is infinite, so that there's also not necessarily a rush. That you then move through your goals in a more calm and controlled manner. That there's less anxiety towards achieving something specific that you believe that you need to do in order to get to the next level in life. And while that may be very true that there are steps to achieving things to get to that next level, unless you need to achieve it in a certain time frame, which is possible as well, begin to look at things as this quarter, this 12 weeks, I'm going to work on X, which might be simply getting into a proper nutrition. That's the first part, right? A proper sleep and 10,000 steps of walking per day. And you might be at 3,500 steps per day. Good, no problem at all. Just to add 10 more minutes of walking per day per week. That's it. So you just move up from 3,000 steps this week to then 4,000 steps to then 5,000 steps, and you just work up to your 10,000 steps over the course of 6 weeks to 7 weeks or so. So all of that's achievable. And if you know that you're going to be doing this for the rest of your life as part of a healthy individual, there isn't necessarily that rush. Because then the next 12 weeks, you can add in whatever the next thing is, and it doesn't stop doing what you're doing for the first 12, it gets added on. So it becomes that much easier because it's becoming ingrained in your life. So now you have the diet, you have the sleep, and you have the walking. You can do those for sure. All right, so then the next 12 weeks is 2 days a week of strength training. Let's say a Monday and a Thursday. And they don't have to be hour grueling workouts. They can literally be body weight workouts to start if you want, or just some bands or dumbbells. And you do that twice a week. Each workout might be 30 minutes. And you do that for the next 12 weeks. And you say, wow, I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling more balanced. My posture's better. I have more energy. Phenomenal. And then what'll the next 12 weeks be? Because again, you can do this every single year for the rest of your life. So there is no rush. So I want you to start to think of your goals in 2 ways. One, there's nothing wrong with a finite game. There's nothing wrong with playing to win in a specific period of time. Those are called SMART goals. And I can link that up for you today at today's show at stephencabral.com/2908. But at the same time, I want you to think about that if something is important to you, are you playing then an infinite game? And if you're playing an infinite game, you can begin to then take that with you for the rest of your life. When I look at what I do right now with my podcast and the questions that I answer and topics that I cover on a daily basis, this is an infinite game, right? This is understanding, listening to people, reading my direct messages and saying, look at all these questions that people have. These are all questions that I feel like I need to answer right in this moment in depth, but I'm going to answer them every single day on the Cabral concept. And I look at that now in almost every area of my life. Now, some things are finite, right? Your kids are only a certain age at one period of time. You're only a certain age yourself at certain periods of time. So you're looking to do things, and I get that. But for the most part, if we can take a deep breath and we can actually step back, we can give ourselves a little bit more time than we believe that we have in order to get the results that ultimately we're looking to achieve. Hopefully today's show has been helpful. I thank you so much for being a part of this community. I appreciate you. And of course, I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Cabral concept. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning into the show. And before you head off, I just want to make sure you do not miss this offer, which probably only happens once per year over at Equilife, and that is saving 20% off all of our functional medicine protocols. That includes our best-selling and most popular functional medicine detox, our CBO protocol for gut health, our mold protocol for mold-based issues, our parasupport protocol for parasites, and so much more. Heavy metal detox, you'll be able to find them all by going to stephencabral.com/shop. You'll see the 20% discount already marked down. Head on over, take advantage of this offer. They're the same protocols used worldwide by thousands of practitioners, and I recommend them for you as well. Again, to take advantage of the 20% savings, saving you $25 to $50+ off, head on over to stephencabral.com/shop while supplies last.